Hi everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher, for the third and final part of the Omanik saga. I came home today, and after I did a lot of discussion, I want to give a special thank you to a couple of people, to Oriata, for one, for Ginger Gerald Stitcher, and Judy Cash, and the many other people who sort of chimed in on Mania. But those three especially, because last night when I was really last night and this morning, they were the ones who were kind of trying to help me resolve things. I have decided that the Omnic just really isn't for me. And there's a couple of things that played into this. I'm not really even mad or frustrated anymore. I did come home this afternoon. I wrestled with it for about another 45 minutes, and still wasn't getting the results that I was wanting. It wasn't a matter of getting the fabric loaded on to the frame. That was no problem. I could understand that part. I have the basics. But I don't like having all the guesswork of, well, did I get this in here? Oh, nope, it's not tight enough. Let's take it out and do it all over again. For me, that got to be way too tedious and not something I wanted to invest myself in. Several people said, oh, well, it only takes me a few minutes, but no one really wanted to qualify a few minutes. A lot of people would just say it was easier, and to me, in some ways, that actually gives me more of an answer than a time, because easier doesn't necessarily mean it gets faster, just that it's less difficult. So while sure, 30 minutes is easier than an hour, that's still 30 minutes. Through some discussion with Oriata, one of the things that we determined, and one of the things I definitely saw in most of the comments, was that my frame, the rods were bigger than what I needed. Great, I can understand that. I don't want to spend the money when I'm already this frustrated on the chance that it might work better. So that definitely played into my problems with it. One of the other problems, and this is something that Oriana did kind of bring up a little on her and a little on me, was that I don't do a lot of BAPs. I rotate fairly frequently, and this sort of system isn't really conducive to that. I think it is a fabulous frame for someone who is going to load something, and you're going to be on that section of your fabric for an extended period of time, not just a couple of days. One of the things I didn't particularly like was that if I wanted to rotate where I was on my fabric, you have to take this part off, and then you get to do the tension thing all over again. And I did not like that. I did not like that at all. Because that, for me, would get very tedious very quickly. Several people suggested for the projects that I didn't have enough border on, well, you could baste something on, and really that's the entire reason I was going for the Omnic, was to avoid using a basting stitch and having to baste the material. Because I do have a frame that I can do that with. And I think for beading, because eventually I will start another Mirabilia, I haven't done it yet, but on my next mirror, I know I'm going to have beads. For that for me is going to be that'll be enough, is being able to use that rod or that scroll frame. So all in all, it really just is not a tool for me, and some of this is my own personal shortcomings. I've dealt with it all of last night. I dealt with it for almost an hour after work today without getting anywhere. And yeah, practice makes perfect. You can get better, but I'm not seeing enough progress, and it's too much of an uphill struggle, I feel like. And I'm not a patient enough person to be willing to say, yes, I want to learn this. Especially when I'm sure there is somebody out there who is patient enough and would absolutely love to have this. So I will most likely be selling it. I haven't quite decided how yet, but I will most likely be selling this. So I guess for me, the review I would leave is the customer service, the company themselves, no complaints there. The product is clearly very well made. I mean, this, in terms of bang for your buck, this seems like it's actually probably very, very, very good. However, in terms of project fitting me, or not project, tool fitting me, this was terrible. And you live and learn. There were questions I didn't know to ask. It sounds like from what others have kind of said that this is sort of typical with scroll frames, but I didn't know that because I don't use scroll frames. Because I was lazy and didn't want to baste. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm specifically mad at them. What I will say is, and it's something I will say when people, because invariably this comes up every couple of months on one of the stitching forums, is be aware of the fact that not everyone has used scroll frames before. Because if I'd been presented with these things prior to my ordering, I would not have ordered. Especially the difficulty getting it the tension, and the fact that this is where you adjust tension versus here. So that's kind of my takeaway from it all. Again, I want to give a special thank you to Orietta, to Judy Cash, to Ginger Gerald Stitcher, that, you know, y'all put up with some really obnoxiousness out of me, particularly Ginger Gerald Stitcher. But it just, this was a trial that failed. So there you have it. That's my review on the Omanik. Like I said, I have no complaints with the company or with the product as it is. My complaints are with the fact that it doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for my style of stitching. So there you have it. I'm really glad that I didn't order a Millennium. I will say that. Not that that was ever going to be a thing, but if this would have been a lot uglier if I had ordered a Millennium. In fact, this probably would not be sellable. It would probably be destroyed. There you go. Take that as you will. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to comment. And if not, I will see you all Sunday for my usual video.